By State Farm. Tonight, Western Conference matchup, the San Antonio Spurs sitting third.
And more, for that matter, Tony Parker in that lineup.
Well, for Utah, second of a back-to-back. The Spurs won in Portland. Utah got third in the replay center. It's Mark Davis. And Jonas Jerebko in the starting lineup with Rodney Hood. And Rodney Hood hits the three, and Jermaine Laverne.
Oh, yeah,
settle down, man. Settle down.
Yeah, John Priest in that lineup. It's really been about what this guy's been able to do. LaMarcus Aldridge.
They looking at career low assists as Ingles fires up a long three. Favors muscles his way to the rebound and two-handed. His second consecutive game. He likes what he sees. Good catch and finish by Favors. Jazz come out. He was
performance last night. Yeah, they were tired, but that's the NBA. You're going to have stretches where the schedule's not kind, and Tony Parker's able to get all the way to the rim.
In Boston last night in Oklahoma City, they scored just 79 points and lost big 107-79 as Jerebko against Oklahoma City. They couldn't buy a basket. Only made 2 field goals in the first 8 minutes. Forbes hits a three.
He's able to knock that down.
Well, the Jazz without Rudy Gobert, so they're in this small lineup. There's a good dish. Parker to Laverne. A little French connection.
Yeah. Scoring 27 times. That's the most of any player in the NBA. It doesn't sound like a stat line, guys, of a player who was confused, unhappy, and even requested a trade this summer.
When we met with him was that he had forgotten as a coach that this is a guy that's been in one system for 9 years. And so all of a sudden you're going to come in and Kawhi Leonard him without some friction. And it's been a rough stretch, but this season has been a bit of a godsend. And you get the tip back there.
On the floor with Patty Mills, Rudy Gay operating in a 6-man role now for the Spurs. Here's Hood. Hood can flat out shoot.
And the big Lakers were really impressive. Kyle Kuzma, and you heard the guys on the studio show talk about it. I mean, he is the Spurs.
Udo camping in the lane, scores it with the left.
About the bench, or lack thereof. They were 0 for 7 in that first quarter. And that's where the troubles really started.
Big shot, Joe. The bench for Utah all season. Having a terrific year. Cephalosha steps in, gives it up. Rubio for 3. And Ricky Rubio hits a triple.
Yeah.
For Ricky Rubio and trying to learn his way into this system. Bryn Forbes, he's deadly when he can line it up, and he lines that one up.
7-minute mark of that first quarter.
Kawhi Leonard had a 7-minute run in the first quarter. Parker on the take. Parker with the left hand scores it off
the 6'8" Johnson.
Dump it into Favors, kicks it to the corner. Joe Johnson, yes!
Time. And I talked to him before the game and asked him, how much longer are you going to play? As you see, Bertans knocked down that triple. He said, I don't know.
Things they will have this year. They got a couple more in February. Bertans coming off the 3, now on the take, and he hits with the right hand. 2 stars for Utah. Gobert and Mitchell watch this one. Pau Gasol is out with a groin injury, as is Danny Green. Good dish from Leonard to Laverne.
They need him down a stretch of games. They don't have that guy. Donovan Mitchell's been terrific, but it's hard to expect a rookie to carry a playoff caliber team. And how about the block there by Jerebko?
Jerebko coming in from the back with a block on Laverne. Now Hood for 3. Oh, yeah. And they're up. And
there is really the evolution of the NBA. You get the block on one end, and generally you're looking to get a rim run off a live ball turnover.
Parker runs into a wall, and Udo. And now to be Leonard for a 3. Yes.
Wow.
Leonard drills.
How about the hands to catch that pass?
Hayward, who averaged nearly 22 a game last year. George Hill, second leading scorer last year with the Jazz. A playoff team. Made it into the second round as Rodney Hood still looking for help. Mills jumped the lane, disrupted that. Spurs in transition. Murray can fly. Forbes can fire. And Forbes hits his second 3.
I tell you what, that was a really good because of the confidence. I don't think that's going to be the case here tonight.
Now this we know. We're not going to see much of Leonard in the second half, and he scores on a little fadeaway. 3-point shooting for the Spurs. Lately has let him down, but they've hit 6 already in this game. Missed on a couple of tries. Good little turnaround. That was businessman going back to the T-shirt company. I think that would be a good play for you.
There's a lot of growth in that industry.
I think so. Kawhi Leonard, boy, that was beautiful. Jazz 11-1 in this quarter. LaMarcus Aldridge with 6 points in the first 3 minutes. Now Favors going to the hole. Count the basket. And Aldridge cuts off Hood. Here's Rubio, and Leonard deflects it, saves it, kicks it up to Mills, and the reverse is good. Boy, the claw.
You know, he can get to areas that where, as an opponent, you can't envision him being.
Here's Jerebko. A corner three is good.
Good job.
Aldridge for San Antonio. Kawhi Leonard is out. We might have seen the last of Leonard. A little turnaround by Aldridge and a friendly roll at the rim. Anderson has played well in the absence of Kawhi Leonard. Rudy Gay hits. Flat out score. Of it. Full day of NBA hoops. Spurs not playing on Christmas Day as Anderson scores at the basket. Rudy Gay stopping a little transition from Joe Johnson. Now Johnson in there. He rarely misses those. Anderson averaging a career high in points and rebounds this year. Mills, little pump fake, sets up a three, nails it.
Another guy that was that possession, able to knock that one down.
First three-point make for the Spurs this quarter. First attempt this quarter as well. And an add points off turnovers. 22 turnovers for San Antonio. Still won the game. Here's Mills, and he drills another three. Here's Laverne. To the corner it goes. Ball's moving well. Hot hand. This one's off the... Oh, wait a minute. Off the bank. With 11. Jazz up 4. And Anderson all the way. And it goes. He got it off in time. Check on his situation as he goes back. He's actually on his way back from the locker room now. Burks. Offense. Laverne with Ingles. Ingles for three. Oh, nothing but the bottom. Joe Ingles. The backcourt puts the Spurs late in the clock. Ticks to 6. Here's Bertans. What an answer. Out of the time. Secures the board. Bertans set to check back in. Tony Parker all the way to the hole. What a to Bertans.
And I think Joe Ingles was upset. He didn't shoot that ball when he got fouled. And Tony Parker able to get all the way to the rim. Done a better job the last few minutes on the defensive backboard as well. And that's a close the door there on Tony Parker. The move was beautiful, but just didn't compensate there for Udo
Parker as well. No opportunity for an outlet. Ends up in the hands of the Jazz, and a one-hander by Favors. Byrne is 4 out of 10 tonight from the field. And Hood, this is a long 2 here. Count it. 24 for Rodney Hood. He and Kyle Anderson soon to be checking in. Shot clock down to 4. Hood goes to the corner. Long 3. Oh! Rodney Hood covers it. Popovich has given LaMarcus Aldridge this year. Hood. Little spin. Rodney Hood. Yes. And on fire. 31. Career high is 32. He's sitting on 29. Big possession for the Spurs. Gay, their best scorer on the floor, gets the friendly roll off the front.
That's 2.5.
Hood, a quick double team comes. Ball's moving. That's Ingles' spot. Oh, and Joe Ingles gets his second here, but he was shut out last night. Here's Murray on the take. Oh, wow. Murray explosive to the basket.
Because they faced a game Spurs team, albeit shorthanded, but they were good in spurts, but the Jazz had an answer.
Still stuck on 29. What a game for Rodney Hood. Murray spins his way to the hole.
As proud here tonight, knowing how desperately their team needed this win, and Rodney Hood and co came out with a terrific effort here.
Jazz,
a good taste in their mouth.
Jazz are going to go to 12-5 at home.